Hey there, welcome to Starz Recapped. Today, we're diving into an exciting American sci-fi adventure movie released in 2025 titled Osiris. Spoiler alert, watch at your own risk. Our story begins back in 1977 when the Voyager 1 spacecraft captures a stunning image of Earth and its moon from over 1.6 million miles away. 2 years later, in 1979, the probe reaches Jupiter and passes by its moon, Io, where it detects signs of volcanic eruptions. By 1980, it continues its journey past Saturn. Fast forward to 2012, Voyager 1 finally exits our solar system and crosses into the vast unknown of interstellar space. Meanwhile, back on Earth, chaos unfolds as a special military unit carries out a mission in a high-risk combat zone. They're suddenly ambushed, but react swiftly, taking down two approaching hostiles. Explosions echo in the distance as the team presses forward, neutralizing threats with precision. They ascend a staircase to reach an upper level. Sharpshooters position themselves on a balcony while the others sweep the building below. One by one, adversaries fall as the team clears room after room with relentless focus. After securing the structure, the unit moves back to the streets, just as fighter jets roar overhead. But danger isn't far behind. Around the next corner, a heavily armed enemy group lies in wait. A fierce battle erupts. Despite their efforts and superior tactics, the odds quickly turn against them. Realizing they're outnumbered, the team begins a tactical retreat. During the escape, one of the soldiers is hit. Rhodey, showing courage under fire, lifts the injured man while the others lay down cover. As bullets fly, the team scrambles for shelter, returning fire as they move. Rhodey tries to help his injured comrade, but he's forced to keep firing to stay alive. When he finally returns to check on him, it's too late. The soldier has already died. As they attempt to retreat, another enemy unit advances, trapping Rhodey's team at the street's dead end. Desperate, they call for backup over the radio. Suddenly, everything around them dims. A deep red glow breaks through the thick clouds above. Both forces freeze, staring at the sky as a strange object emerges. A towering, unidentified machine. It fires a concentrated energy beam, instantly wiping out the enemy soldiers. The glow then shifts to a bright white, pulsing for a few moments before releasing a massive electrical surge. The current strikes the American soldiers, lifting them off the ground and pulling them into the strange structure. Inside, non-human entities restrain them and begin running tests. The team members are overwhelmed by intense visions of their past battles just before losing consciousness. When they awaken, they find themselves suspended inside a bizarre containment unit. The machine abruptly powers down, and the soldiers are forcefully expelled from it. Coughing violently, they vomit a thick fluid from their lungs. Jax quickly identifies it as stasis resin, a substance that should break down shortly after exposure. Despite recalling certain things clearly, he has no idea how that information is even in his head. The group is confused and disoriented, unsure of where they've ended up. Some suspect it could be a secret facility run by foreign forces like the Russians or Chinese, but the symbols and language on the machinery don't match anything from Earth. Reyes discovers a metal plate listing their names and military roles, though he's just as puzzled by how he recognizes it. Oddly, all their weapons are fully loaded. The last event any of them remember is the intense firefight in the city and the strange lightning that followed. Team leader Kelly decides they can't afford to wait around and suggests they move out before whoever brought them there returns. At the end of the hallway, they reach a large, round door. The control panel doesn't respond, so the team forces it open manually. Moving deeper into the structure, they come across another sealed entryway, this one twisted and dislodged from its original frame. Rhodey spots a maintenance vent nearby and asks Reyes to check it out. With a flashlight gripped in his mouth, Reyes climbs inside and crawls through the narrow tunnel. He soon finds multiple paths, but chooses the only one with a faint glow ahead. Eventually, he locates an exit and drops down into a new section, then signals for the rest of the team to follow. Once reunited, they examine the door from this side and notice scorch marks and dents, signs of a violent attempt to breach it. The whole structure feels like a confusing labyrinth. Nash speculates they might be trapped inside a hidden underwater detention facility. Out of nowhere, unsettling sounds echo through the structure. The team presses forward to investigate. As they step into the next corridor, they spot a blood trail streaking across the floor. On the wall, a damaged power clamp suggests a serious malfunction. Perhaps the facility is shutting down, which might explain why the system released them earlier. They enter another chamber blanketed in thick, floor-level mist. A single drop of blood falls onto Raya's face. He glances up and freezes. Above them hang numerous headless corpses, suspended upside down. Shocked but composed, Kelly instructs Reyes and Gibbs to follow him into the adjoining room, where they discover yet another mutilated body hovering over an odd-looking examination table. There, chained to the wall, is a woman, disoriented and speaking a foreign language. She identifies herself as Robbie. The soldiers release her using a nearby control lever. At that very moment, a terrifying alien creature bursts into the room and strikes Gibbs with its massive claws, launching him across the space. Meanwhile, Nash uncovers an unfamiliar weapon in the previous area. Hearing the commotion, he and the others rush to assist. They open fire, but their regular ammunition barely scratches the creature's armor. In moments, the monster knocks down all three men. When Kelly attempts to retaliate, the alien disarms him effortlessly and lifts him by the throat, staring at him briefly before tossing him aside. Just as the beast lunges at Jax, Nash hurls the mysterious weapon to Rhodey. He fumbles with it, finally managing to power it up and blast the creature, bringing it to the ground. The team thinks it's over, until the alien lets out a ferocious roar. Robbie steps forward without hesitation and delivers a final shot, putting the threat down for good. She mutters something in her language and walks off, leaving the soldiers puzzled. Realizing Gibbs didn't survive the encounter, they hurry after her. In the next hallway, Kelly surprises everyone by speaking her language fluently, startling Robbie. Before anything else can happen, another alien warrior appears. Kelly quickly opens fire and orders the rest to retreat. This enemy, however, is armed as well. It hits Robbie with a laser shot. Suddenly, more of its kind emerge, joining the attack with heavy firepower. The team helps the injured Robbie and flees as fast as they can. What follows is a relentless firefight as both sides engage in a high-speed pursuit through the dark, winding corridors. The squad manages to find shelter in the next hallway. Spotting a lever nearby, Robbie quickly pulls it, causing a heavy door to slide shut. Thinking fast, Kelly wedges his knife into the door frame to slow down any forced entry, then instructs Jax to escort Robbie and search for an alternate route. With loud thuds echoing from the other side, it's clear the creatures are trying to break in, and fast. Jax and Robbie crawl through a narrow shaft packed with tangled cables and eventually reach a ventilation tunnel. Seeing them disappear into the vent, Reyes volunteers to hold the line and buy time for the others. As the barricade finally gives way, Reyes opens fire, taking down the first hostile and briefly triggering the door to close again. But more of the beasts push through, forcing him to retreat toward the passage. Just as he reaches the vent entrance, one of the aliens grabs his leg and yanks him back. A second creature peers in, only to have its head blown apart by Rhodey's quick shot. The remaining team members find a way out, shoving aside debris to enter a large chamber. When they realize Reyes didn't survive, Nash panics and starts ranting about the aliens. Kelly steps in to calm him, then turns to Rhodey with a question. How did he instinctively know how to use the alien weapon? Rhodey, baffled, has no explanation. Meanwhile, Jax tends to Robbie's injuries, but she insists she's okay. Her words are understood through Kelly, who's shocked that he somehow understands Russian, something he never studied. He begins asking questions, and Robbie refers to the men as sleepers, confirming that the creatures hunting them aren't from Earth. She then switches to English, revealing they are inside a spacecraft and need to head somewhere safe. Nash spirals again, prompting Rhodey to threaten him just to keep him quiet. Robbie interrupts their argument, urging them to keep moving before it's too late. Back in the corridor, Reyes is being tortured by the creatures. They use a strange device to scan his memories, absorbing every bit of intel about the group. Using this knowledge, the lead alien returns to the bent entryway and activates a device on its wrist. As the team continues forward, Robbie explains that the scarred alien is their commander, and he's not alone. He commands an entire pack. She also warns them about motion-sensitive detectors embedded in the walls. According to her, the creatures are hunting for food. When they reach the next chamber, the team finds themselves on a narrow bridge suspended over a massive void. All around them, tiny lights blink in the darkness, stretching out as far as the eye can see. Jax leans in for a closer inspection and quickly realizes the glowing objects aren't lights at all. They're transparent pods, each containing a motionless human figure. Robbie identifies them as sleepers, urging the team to keep moving. They stop briefly in a quieter passage, giving Kelly a chance to change Robbie's bandage. During the break, they share stories from life before the chaos. Kelly reveals he once had a family, but is now a divorced father. Nash, disturbed by everything around them, starts wondering aloud whether they're dealing with supernatural forces instead of extraterrestrials, maybe even caught in some kind of apocalyptic reckoning. Soon, they arrive at a massive chamber filled with container-like units. Robbie explains these are storage vessels housing all the objects taken from Earth. Rhodey finds it suspicious that no enemies have appeared yet. He suggests the enemy might be circling ahead, trying to trap them in. Kelly agrees and declares they'll fight back, ignoring Robbie's warning that it's too dangerous. Jax volunteers to draw the enemy out. He walks into the corridor alone, singing loudly to attract attention. The creatures soon appear, tracking the sound. Jax opens fire, then bolts down the hallway, pausing now and then to shoot back and stay on their radar. The aliens pursue him, firing their energy weapons as they go. He leads them into the hangar, taunting them along the way. When they reach the far end, Nash, hidden above in a sniper position, takes out one with a precise shot to the head. With the trap sprung, the rest of the squad emerges and launches a full assault, systematically taking the enemy down. Once the final hostile drops, Robbie expresses concern. It felt far too easy. Her fears prove valid when a second alien unit enters the chamber. The team fires immediately, but this new wave has reinforced energy shields. Even Nash's shots are ineffective. Forced to retreat, the team scatters. Nash leaps across stacked containers, regrouping with the others as they race toward the exit. But just before they reach the door, Jax is hit in the back by enemy fire and collapses. Nash, overcome with rage, spins around and takes out the shooter in a fury. The remaining four dash through the exit and into another hallway, taking cover as they exchange more gunfire with their pursuers. Robbie spots a control lever and yanks it, sealing off the entrance. But they quickly realize enemies are also advancing from behind. With no time to waste, the team escapes through a maintenance hatch in the wall, disappearing into the unknown once again. The group slides down a steep tunnel and crashes into a shallow pool littered with bones and decaying remains. The overwhelming stench hits them instantly, causing several to vomit. Nash begins to panic, but Kelly quickly silences him, trying to keep the group focused. Their tense moment is broken by a sudden voice echoing from above. Robbie looks up, stunned. It's her mother, Anya, who tosses down a rope without hesitation. Robbie climbs up, and the two embrace for the first time in years. The others follow one by one. As Kelly helps the last of the team up, he notices that Anya is wearing a Russian military uniform. Anya leads them through dimly lit hallways, carefully avoiding motion-triggered sensors mounted on the walls. She eventually brings them to a floor hatch, guiding them down into a hidden lower level. Once inside, she secures the entrance behind them. The space is eerily decorated with sketches and symbols covering every wall. As they catch their breath, Kelly shares how they all woke up inside strange capsules. Anya explains that area was a kind of trophy room where the captives were displayed or stored. They were only released because of a technical failure in the system. She has no clear idea how long she's been there, but based on everything she's seen, she estimates it's been 2 or 3 decades. The team realizes Robbie was likely born on this very ship. Anya then reveals what really happened. There was a global invasion. Voyager 1, originally sent to make contact with peaceful life forms, carried a star map inviting intelligent beings to Earth. Unfortunately, it reached a hostile species instead. These beings used the coordinates to launch an attack. Before the assault, they abducted the world's top military minds and linked their technology to human brains to extract strategic knowledge. The soldiers now understand they were part of that system, suspended for years, perhaps even decades. The strange visions they experienced weren't dreams, but simulations created by the aliens to study human combat behavior. That knowledge allowed them to conquer Earth in mere weeks. But there was a flaw in the plan. The neural link worked both ways. Some human minds absorbed fragments of alien data in return, what Anya calls gifts. She reveals that this massive ship is transporting Earth's stolen resources back to the invaders' homeworld. Robbie's father, before he died, sabotaged the ship's reactor, which triggered the malfunctions that freed them. Anya admits she usually avoids contact with newly awakened captives, which is how she survived for so long. But after losing her own team during the sabotage attempt, she needs help. Her gift is an unusual sensitivity. She can hear the alien voices from a distance and understand their language. Right now, she knows they're trying to restore the communication array. If they succeed in calling for reinforcements, Earth will face another wave of destruction. The team must stop that from happening. They finally take a moment to rest. Nash stares blankly at the wall and says in a broken voice, "We're never going home, are we?" Kelly stares at a worn photo of his daughter, realizing that if she's still alive, she'd be nearing her 40s. The thought sparks similar feelings in Rhodey, who quietly reflects on his own children. The group, shaken but determined, agrees they can't keep running. They decide to strike back and start laying out a plan with Anya's help. They estimate there are around 20 or so alien hostiles remaining, most of them concentrated in the control zone on the upper level, an area believed to be heavily fortified. The ventilation system offers a direct path up there, though it's likely they'll be detected as soon as they enter. Fortunately, Anya has managed to collect a stash of explosives over the years. The team crawls through the ducts, aiming to reach the top level. Rhodey and Kelly volunteer to act as the diversion, giving Nash and the women time to rig the explosives in key locations. Before they split, Anya hands Kelly a stolen alien gauntlet capable of generating a temporary shield, something that could give him a much-needed edge. Nash's group makes it to a high ledge overlooking the enemy command center. Below, several guards are positioned near consoles. Meanwhile, in a nearby corridor, Kelly and Rhodey stumble across a blood-smeared motion sensor. Suspecting more nearby, they search for another. Eventually, one of the aliens is alerted via its wrist device. Kelly deliberately fires at the sensor, provoking the enemy and drawing attention. The guards in the command room are summoned away, giving Nash's team the window they need to begin setting charges. As Nash keeps lookout, the others work quickly and quietly. Meanwhile, Kelly and Rhodey duck into a side alcove as approaching footsteps echo down the hall. When the time is right, they ambush the two aliens and eliminate them. But reinforcements arrive immediately, forcing a firefight. Kelly activates the energy shield, blocking incoming blasts and allowing him and Rhodey to hold their ground. One of the aliens grabs a fallen comrade, using the body as cover while pressing forward. Outgunned, the men are forced to retreat into another corridor. As the firefight rages on, one of the enemy leaders scans its device and signals half its unit to break off and pursue another path toward Nash's location. In the command chamber, Anya hears the advancing footsteps. At the same time, Kelly and Rhodey warn them through comms that the enemy is closing in. But escape isn't possible in time. When Kelly reaches the door, Rhodey suddenly shuts it behind him. With grim resolve, Rhodey tells Kelly to go and save the others. He'll stay behind and buy them time. Rhodey charges into the fight with everything he has, firing the alien weapon until its energy core drains completely. Without hesitation, he switches to his standard firearm and closes the distance between him and one of the towering enemies. The alien lunges, grabbing Rhodey through the flickering shield and slamming him into the metal wall. Dazed but determined, Rhodey notices the creature pause, studying his face. Using that brief window, he quickly arms 2 grenades and drops them at their feet. A massive explosion erupts through the corridor, engulfing both him and the nearby enemies in a fiery blast. Meanwhile, the second half of the alien squad storms into the central chamber. The remaining humans open fire, and Osiris managing to cut down several attackers in the first wave. But reinforcements arrive. This time, they're equipped with advanced energy shields. Seeing the odds shifting, Anya urges Robbie to flee and orders Nash to keep her safe. As the firefight intensifies, a massive alien commander steps into the chaos and unleashes a devastating barrage, striking Anya down. Robbie screams for her mother, but Nash pulls her away just in time to see Anya reach for a detonator. With a final act of defiance, she triggers the explosives. A thunderous explosion rocks the facility, collapsing the entire command center and wiping out the alien squad, along with the massive war engine at its core. Back in the hallway, Nash spots another wave of creatures approaching. Thinking quickly, he hides Robbie inside a small hatch and rushes into view, yelling to draw the enemy's attention. His plan works. The aliens follow him, unaware of the girl's hiding spot. He leads them into a narrow dead end. Out of breath but unbroken, Nash begins singing the same tune Jax once used to lure the enemy. He holds his ground, firing at the creatures as they close in. For a moment, he considers using his last explosives, but shakes the thought. He's not done fighting yet. Gritting his teeth, he reloads and continues the stand. Once everything goes silent, Robbie cautiously crawls out of the hatch, only to come face to face with another alien. Elsewhere, Kelly stumbles into a chamber unlike anything he's seen. Behind reinforced glass, rows of terrified humans pound on the walls, pleading for help. Just as Kelly turns around, a blow from behind knocks him unconscious. In his dream, he sees his daughter smiling, living a peaceful life back on Earth, until the vision twists into a nightmare as she's suddenly taken by the same alien force. He jolts awake inside a containment cell. In the adjacent one, Robbie quietly informs him that the rest of their team didn't survive. Before he can respond, a pair of aliens storm in. One grabs Kelly by the throat and slams him against the wall, then drags him down a long hallway. He's taken to a familiar room, the one with the eerie operating table. They hang him upside down, restrained and vulnerable. An alien approaches with a blade, preparing to strike. But just as it raises the weapon, something catches its attention. Nash, hidden beneath the table. With perfect aim, Nash fires a shot straight through the alien's skull, dropping it instantly. The two men waste no time. Fighting their way down the corridor, they eliminate every alien that gets too close. They reach the prison cells, and Kelly immediately begins unlocking them, freeing the terrified captives. More enemies close in, but Nash grabs a laser weapon and lays down cover fire, mowing down wave after wave. Once the last of the prisoners is safely out, Kelly slams the cell doors shut and joins Nash and Robbie as they flee with the group. But the aliens aren't far behind. The trio takes cover behind a wall, exchanging fire as their ammunition runs dangerously low. Thinking fast, Nash pulls off his grenade-laden belt and hurls it toward the enemy. Kelly slams a nearby door shut just as the explosives detonate, shielding them from the blast. For a brief moment, they catch their breath. Nash leans back against another door, smiling in relief, until a sharp blade suddenly pierces through his chest from behind. The towering alien leader steps into view. Kelly, eyes wide with shock and fury, tells Robbie to escape. Then he squares up, shouting at the creature, daring it to come after him instead. Kelly grabs a nearby blade and squares off against the towering alien. The battle is brutal. Each strike from the creature knocks him down harder than the last. At one point, the alien even hurls him into the ceiling, then launches its weapon with deadly precision. Kelly narrowly rolls out of the way. The creature doesn't stop there. It activates an energy shield and charges, slamming into Kelly with brute force. After absorbing several punishing hits, Kelly spots his chance. As the alien regains its blade and rushes through a narrow doorway, Kelly slams the control panel, trapping the alien mid-charge. The door crushes the creature, ending the fight in an instant. Moments later, Kelly finds Robbie, still hiding and frozen in fear. He offers a comforting nod, then steps outside. Hesitantly, she follows. Together, they look out and see the truth. Earth is no longer the planet they once knew. Barren, silent, a wasteland, echoing with the loss of everything familiar. And that wraps up the breakdown of the sci-fi survival film Osiris, a story of resistance, sacrifice, and the haunting cost of survival in a world turned upside down. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Starz Recapped for more thrilling movie explanations every week. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and stay safe.